have one place for teen pregnancy. I'm DKP.
Pregnant. And a teen.
Ooh.
I made you stop.
And, of course, they're coming out live from twitch.tv/chainswipe every single Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
You know, it bothered me for a while that it's like we changed the time that the show starts.
I know.
And you say it as every... But now I love it. I love the fact that you say every single, even though it changes, because it's not every single.
It's been changing a lot.
Yeah. And it may just continue to change a lot. That just may be how it is.
Well...
Which is fine, but I want you to keep doing it every single time.
When we say every single, like, at that precise time, that's the time.
Yeah.
I know, but, like, it could change by next week, but then that will be the new every single.
It's a good
the way it works, man.
It's basically become a bit, and I really appreciate it.
I can dig.
Yeah. Man. You know what's so great about episode 95? We're about to step out of. So if you're watching this in the future, if you're not watching this right now, if you're watching this in the future, just know that today is the day that it comes out in movie theaters.
Oh yeah. Which I am jelly as fuck. You're seeing it tonight. Like, I have to wait till tomorrow afternoon.
What up, Peb? It is a historical day. People will,
for me,
they'll look back at episode 95 and they'll say, episode 95 was the day that it came out.
Everything changes. Nothing's gonna be the same.
Everything changed.
We've been talking about it, and I've been like talking about it a lot. Like, I haven't been more excited for a movie in fucking over a decade. Like, there's been games that have been coming out and that I'll buy twice, just to play them like a couple days early. Did that with Dark Souls, MGS5, whatever. I don't ever do that with movies. This is one where like all week I've been looking for advanced screenings here in Austin. Like,
I'll go see it twice.
I'll pay for 2 tickets. I don't give a shit.
You said something to me earlier today. That, like, you know what would be cool is if this happens, and now I'm going to be so pissed if it doesn't happen. Don't repeat it.
I'm not.
For sake of our viewers.
But,
dude, I'm going to be so upset if it doesn't happen.
We'll talk.
You created expectations.
We'll talk about it next week.
I hope it fulfills.
We'll discuss what it is next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a spoiler thing. Spoiler stream.
Maybe we could do that like Saturday or something.
Yeah, maybe so.
Since we're doing the movie night thing anyways.
Yeah. Pep says, I'm here from the future to warn you all. Don't go see it. It escapes the theaters and destroys the world. Dude, I fucking hope so.
No, stop. I'm sorry.
That'd be
I'm going to see it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to see it.
But,
very excited.
What do we got in the rest of the docs tonight, Major T?
Bunch of stuff. 5 different stories we're going to touch on. So, Rockstar is bringing LA Noire to Switch. They're also bringing it to Xbox One and PS4.
What weird fucking timing.
Yeah, and they're bringing it to the Vive. It's not the full game they're bringing to Vive. It's like a version of the game. It's like X amount of the cases from the game is coming to Vive. We're talking about timing.
Yeah, just out of nowhere yesterday, I fucking started watching Mad Men. And then for my stream, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play LA Noire. I haven't played that game in a long time.
Yeah. The 1950s.
Play that last night.
Maybe, I think it's 40s.
And yeah, as of then today, it's like, oh yeah, we're releasing the definitive edition. Okay.
Yeah. There have been rumors of it for a while.
Have there been? Okay.
Also, EA and Nintendo Switch, the chicken and egg scenario. Now that's going to be the overarching, I guess, point of the conversation is to talk about the chicken and egg scenario. But there's 3 different articles that we're going to reference throughout it. So, we'll see how that goes. Curses says, Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition was announced, as well as some more info on DLC. Very excited to talk about that. And then 10 Mario Odyssey worlds that we know of.
So there's potentially going to be more than 10?
Yeah, there could be more than 10. Which is
how many were there in 64, do you know?
14 or 15?
Not bad.
But it's going to be mind-blowing. I wish there was something that I pulled up. There was
These
something
are larger,
that I'm thinking about now.
Anyways, right?
Do what?
These are like larger, more in-depth worlds anyways, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to it. And then there's somebody who wants to make a Metal Gear Solid movie, and their intention is to make it right. So I want to talk about that a little bit. You and I talked about that in person last Saturday, and I want to have that conversation again.
Okie doke.
In front of cameras and microphones. So, ready to get into it?
I suppose so. All right.
Let's do it.
So first up, LA Noire coming to Switch.
So, I guess the headline of this is that LA Noire is coming to everything. But to me, the interesting thing is that it's
the most unexpected one was Switch. Yeah.
It's the most, so, they're getting like 4K versions and 60 frames a second and all this for the Xbox One and PS4. and it's coming to 5 as well. So there's all these crazy versions, but basically just the regular old LA Noire with all the content, all the
DLC, I suppose.
DLC stuff is coming, and it's just the regular old version coming to the Switch. Now, it's not bad that it's the regular old version because the Switch obviously can't do that.
Sure.
What's, to me, the headline here, the interesting headline, is that number one, Rockstar is bringing a game to Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
And number
That is
two,
something.
they are willing to bring a regular version that doesn't have all these bells and whistles to Nintendo Switch. They're willing to say, like, so let's think of it. I mean, the closest example I can think of is Skyrim, but Skyrim, the Switch wasn't out when Skyrim Super Edition came out last year. The whatever one that had all these like new upgrades and stuff. But it's where you have a game that you're releasing on multiple platforms. You're like, here's a crazy, beautiful, sexy version of something, and then here's just like a regular version, but it's on Switch and it's portable.
I mean,
so
I'm fine with that on Switch.
I'm 100% fine with that. I'm 100% fine with. I like the idea that they're like, yeah, we're willing to do.
I'm just waiting for Capcom to come back and release like RE0, RE Remake, RE4. Yeah, because like really like at this precise moment, since we don't have a lot of like good first party IPs from, like there's some, but like there's not the wealth of the library, right? That you would want. That's the only thing I want from Switch right now. Is like, yeah, those games that I play all the fucking time that I'll just replay and replay, like giving me the ability to just do that anywhere.
Yeah,
that's all you need. You don't need to juice it up. I don't give a shit. Like,
and anywhere can still be my couch, but like. So, as an example, I was watching a podcast last night on my TV, and I was playing Mario plus Rabbids, like sitting down, just focused in. Kurt said, I've been reading comments on the new Life is Strange, and holy hell, people are riding that game stick hard. I'm very excited for that game.
Yeah.
Whenever games release on different systems, there's usually a small difference with the better system. It's just this one's more noticeable, for sure. And it's kind of interesting that we're talking about it in this format, because after this, we're going to be talking about a game that's coming to Switch that's also not getting as good of a version, and I'm frustrated about that one.
Okay.
And this one I'm excited about. I'm like, I have my own double standard going here. But
well, this is a re-release, though. That's one thing.
For sure.
It's like, that's one thing to keep in mind.
And realistically,
I don't know the details of the next topic.
And what bothers me about the next topic isn't necessarily that it exists. It's how it's how the creators and publishers and developers are talking about it.
Okay. Well, what else do we have on this?
I want to go back and touch on the whole Rockstar thing.
Yep.
So, Rockstar is releasing a game on Nintendo Switch. Now, granted, they did release like Chinatown Wars on the DS and stuff like that. So, Nintendo,
I mean, those were just DS games, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like that wasn't like, those were definitely smaller, like shittier versions.
Yeah.
If you like them, fine. Yeah. But this is like I said, this isn't quite the same thing, though. You know,
this gives me a lot of hope.
This was a full release title that they're now porting.
This gives me a lot of hope for something like GTA 5, which like I've been wanting to replay GTA 5, and I really want to try the online. Everybody, just came out with a mode that's similar to that PUBG.
Right.
What up, Barbecue? Red Dead 2 on Switch. Ooh, I highly
wouldn't
doubt
expect
that. But
that.
maybe Red Dead 1 on Switch.
Yeah, I was going to say
great.
that I could see if this does well.
Rob's about to get red wedded. Can't wait for Lady Stoneheart.
It'll be fucked up if Red Dead Redemption came to Switch before it came to PC. Since, like, people have just been wanting a PC port of it for, like, ever since it came out. And for no reason they've done it. Yeah. And, like, we won't do that. We'll put it on Nintendo Switch.
Here's your Switch version. Tortilla. Everybody wants it on PC. What up, Johnny Paps?
What about
Yeah, this is a really
good sign for people who do enjoy Rockstar games that also have a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. It shows you that, you know...
And if they release old games, too, it's like, because who are they fooling thinking, like, this will be the preferred platform for the next Grand Theft Auto? Even if it did come out on it, it won't be. But for, like, older titles that it's like, I'd replay that again if it was portable, I'd rebuy it again. This is the perfect avenue for it.
Absolutely. Even, like, I've never finished Vice City. I only played, like, 3 hours of Vice City. Like, total.
That's my favorite Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. It's very sad that I've never... But, dude, you release Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas on Switch, I'll definitely buy it. And it's... I guess it's not necessarily anything super interesting, but I just love the idea that Nintendo is starting to see good types of third-party support, because that matters.
Well, Rockstar also, like, once again, like, was there anything on the previous 2 consoles from them? Well, has there ever been a Rockstar game on fucking...
They released table tennis on Wii.
Okay, but I mean, like, a real Rockstar game, you know?
Maybe, like, Manhunt?
I don't think...
Because
I
remember there being, like, motion stuff?
I don't think Manhunt came out for the Wii.
Time to fact check it.
I mean, yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think that happened. No shit. There was a Wii version of that?
Bam, Manhunt 2, baby.
Manhunt 2, okay. All right,
yeah, because I remember people being like, because you could like put a bag over people's heads.
Yeah.
And like, do like that.
So you had
the nunchuck and the controller. People freaking out.
Of course you did.
Maybe it was 2K who made that decision. Don't they own Rockstar? Yes. And it probably was, but still, great sign.
Yep.
Great sign. Very excited about that.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Anything else?
Now that'll be it. Let's move on to the I guess the controversial topic.
Yep.
So we got EA and Switch, a chicken and egg store.
Okay, so let's start by, so Pebble sent me an article that from I think this is the one he sent, but from tweettown.com, basically saying that the Switch is very hard to develop, which makes sense. Sorry, let me scroll up to get all the stuff. Derek Strickland wrote this, and it's titled Nintendo Switch, very difficult, says EA.
All right.
I'm going to try to jump to just the bullet points of it, because there are 3 different articles that I want to reference for this discussion.
Okay.
So they're talking about developing third-party games for the Switch. In an interview with Eurogamer, he says, the hardware is very difficult. This is Andre Lazar rescue.
Andre Lazan, yes.
Andre Lazar
I know that man.
He works with EA Sports. He says, the hardware is very difficult. When asked if the Nintendo Switch could even have a close approximation of the PC features and console version. It would take an army of people if it was possible to be done, which is basically like making it, using the like Frostbite engine or something like that. He says, every time we only have a year to do the game. You have to be very careful about the choices that we make and the features that we want to put in, because the deadline date will not change. The date will not change in any way. He says,
okay, I mean, it sounds like an EA problem, doesn't it?
Realistically, yeah. He says some things just don't work on the Switch because it's hardware limitations, which we all have talked about and understand. And I think for the most part, we're all semi-comfortable.
Sure.
He says, I look at them as 2 different games, 2 different worlds. And I think we should take them for what they are, and keep in mind that we should not try to force people onto certain things just because it works on a certain platform. So,
all right, so what do you take from that?
Let me back that up a little bit.
Okay.
So he specifically talks about, and I feel like this article does a better job of summing it up. He said, apologies, I'm through it.
Doesn't EA
It's
usually
basically
hire
in
cooks?
reference to like specific features. So there are 2 things. It's obviously it's not going to support the Frostbite engine.
Yep.
And it's also
if they made
not
it,
going to have like
if
the
they
story
made it to support Frostbite, then why wouldn't they just port Battlefield to it while they're at it? Like
Right.
that would be the biggest challenge overall. So
all their sports stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, they have to do a completely new engine for it. So they have to have a whole set of people that are focused on making this basically the same game on Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They can't it's like, because at least like Frostbite, you can use Frostbite on Xbox One or PC or PS4, but you can't do that with the Switch.
Yeah, well,
so you have to completely rebuild the game.
I'm sure there's just a shitload that's just tied to like hardware limitations, and the fact that basically the PS4 and Xbox outside of like front end UI shit are basically PCs, like lower end, right? But as far as like the way that the hardware architecture works and all that, like I don't know about Switch. That could be just way fucking probably is.
Yeah. So he specifically, the design choices have been made in a decision to shield players from the overwhelming content.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
we don't want to blast you with too much of a good time. Is that what he's saying?
He says putting all these features on a brand new platform may give players too much content, and the game might end up being too huge for a new audience. He says if you look at the history of Ultimate Team on the likes of Sony or Microsoft, I think it's a 7-year history. The player base has also been accustomed to it already, and it's been educated about it already. He says, So if you throw everything from the get-go to a completely new player base, you might not get the desired result. Even this, as it is, might be too much. It's huge. So he doesn't rest on the laurels of the challenges associated with Frostbite. He specifically cites, I don't want to overwhelm people because there might be people who've never played FIFA before.
I think I'm starting to pick up on your chicken egg scenario. Part of it is it's too hard to develop for, and then he goes around to say, well, look at the amount we'd have to develop. But he didn't say that, but goes, we don't want to put too much out there. Is that the chicken egg?
Well, the chicken and egg scenario is
it's like, which one is
it? This whole other piece to it.
Both problems stem from the opposite direction. And
yes.
You're given both.
Yes. So, the whole chicken and egg scenario is that EA is unsure if they want to develop games for Switch because they don't know if they're going to be popular, if they're not going to sell well enough. But they are specifically choosing to leave features out of the game. And in one point, they're saying we're choosing to leave features out of the game because of an engine problem.
Yeah.
And in the second, which makes sense. That makes sense. But more importantly, he cites that they don't want to overwhelm people. They don't want to give people too many features.
So let's look at comments. We'll talk on that. I thought the problem with Frostbite was that it wasn't ideally made for genres instead of shooters. No, it's an overarching. They initially made it to work for kind of Valve
it was for shooters, and then they had the Ignite engine for sports games, and then they found that Frostbite was.
Well, now we're on what, Frostbite 2?
Couldn't tell you.
But
couldn't speak to
yeah, they pivoted and be like, okay, this is gonna be our source engine or whatever, where everything's in house on that. Why is Tom talking about his junk?
You know how I do, baby.
So saying it's overwhelming. I mean, are you trying to compliment him? That's weird for you, James. What's up, baby? I feel like, okay, Peviv also nails it pretty good. He says, I feel like it's a cost thing, but they don't want to sound like they're cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. When that guy's spouting that and saying, look, we just don't want to give people too much of a good time. People don't like to have too good a time.
If you throw everything from the get-go to a completely new player base, you might not get the desired result.
Does he believe that shit when he's saying it? I don't think so. And I don't think he would expect... How does he expect anyone else to believe that horse shit?
Putting all of those features on a brand new platform may give the players too much content, and the game might end up being too huge for a new audience. Can you imagine a scenario where somebody's like, I really want that FIFA for Switch.
It's just too much value,
There's too much content.
It's just too much value for what I'm paying.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I don't want to buy a game with too much value for that $1.
So here's where this chicken and egg scenario really is kind of a catch
dumbest fucking
a catch 22
ever heard.
Because let's say the game doesn't sell as well as they are projecting.
Okay.
They are going to blame it on the fact that the game was too much. We put Ultimate Team in there, and we just the Switch player base just doesn't respond well. So EA is not going to be releasing the Mass Effect trilogy or a Need for Speed game, so we're not going to be putting a different version or even a dumbed down version of Battlefield in it.
That's shitty, but Nintendo's doing the same thing right now with the Metroid 2.
Yeah.
Which is also shitty.
Yeah.
So it's this isn't unheard of in the game. And Capcom also kind of did that too with Street Fighter.
If you want to test the waters, you test the waters.
But don't tell everyone. When you say it, you're no longer testing the waters. You're holding that genre hostage. Yeah. That franchise, you're holding it hostage, saying, if you don't pony up the dough now, you're never going to see it again.
So I'm going to go back to an article from the 14th. It says, this is from IGN. It says, EA games for Nintendo Switch dependent.
Pep says, I was going to go out with her again, but she blew me one too many times. I just couldn't do it.
It says, EA games for Nintendo Switch are dependent on FIFA 18 success. So this is 2 weeks ago. This was an interview with Patrick Sutherland. He said, We want to be part of the Switch and help Nintendo grow that install base. But at the same time, we have to look at it from a resource standpoint. And at some point, the numbers become a factor. So for us, it's about supporting a platform, building technology for the platform, testing it out with big things like FIFA. Maybe a couple of years, we'll see. And if they go well, I see no reason why we shouldn't have as much of our portfolio on that platform as possible. I hope we get there. That'd be my personal ambition. So
that's also fucking stupid too, because it's saying like, all right, look at the wide array of like, well, lesser now, but the wide array of genres like EA has. There's adventure games, there's shooters, and sports. What you're saying is, oh yeah, if this sports title doesn't do well, fuck it, nothing else is gonna. Like, what about that game, that Fee or whatever that's coming out?
Yeah.
That'll be a fucking perfect one.
It's actually coming to Switch.
Good. I mean, like, shoot your sights fucking possibly lower.
Or even like a way out.
Yeah, put that on there. That would be more than a perfect scenario. You could have two people with two screens like sitting next to each other. Yeah. You could bring yours fucking up. Yeah. Like, give me a fucking break. Like,
or even it could be a game where it could be in tabletop mode where you put it down and then each person gets a Joy-Con and you can play the game.
Sure. Dude, this is fucking stupid as hell. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Jim says, FIFA, I feel, is EA's big money. I know you Americans just don't bother like the rest of us, but the sheer numbers on FIFA is madness. I know people who bought consoles.
No, we've
play FIFA.
No, we've acknowledged that many times.
As like a lot of the people in this room right now, and DKP and I know from working at EA, we know that FIFA is a big money maker.
Yeah, it's
very, very much
without
so.
question their biggest.
It is
title.
We did a lot of customer support.
If you
stuff.
include Ultimate Team,
a massive
landslide,
massive majority. I'd say around 50% of the contacts that EA customer service gets are about FIFA, and that's from the English-speaking audiences only.
Yeah,
like those are the only ones that our center would support.
That's definitely not the only people that play it.
No. Yeah, no, it's huge.
But still,
give you a direct correlation. EA built a brand new customer service center in Austin, Texas. You know, they used to be in a much smaller area and a not super great part of town. Huge customer service center that's very, very nice. You can find pictures of it online. Super nice place. That place was built the year after FIFA Ultimate Team came out.
Yep.
So you can see a direct correlation of like Ultimate Team's existence and like where EA. I mean, the president of
FIFA.
No,
right?
Well, the president of Electronic Arts started at EA Sports and was one of the people who like came up with FIFA Ultimate Team. His team was the one that said like, let's monetize this. He's now the CEO of Electronic Arts. So yeah,
anyways,
FIFA's extremely important.
Okay, so don't look at us like we're fucking retarded Americans, Jams. Get that out of here. Never heard of FIFA. Is it a hentai simulator? Can you use VR? You act right. The Switch is one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles in a while. You'll be stupid to miss out on all that extra cash. I mean, would they? Because, look, here's what they're doing, they just don't want to say it. They're saying, we're completely content with just making FIFA again, and not fucking with anything new that might lose us any money, or has the small-ass potential to. We're completely fine with going with what works, and what we don't have to spend resources, what we already have established. That's what they don't want to say, but that's what they're doing.
It's this justification.
So, like, I don't think they would be stupid to miss out on it, if you want to go to the whole business sense thing. But at the same time, like...
It's this justification that we can't make games for the Switch because of how they're going to sell. But we're not going to put a content complete version on a Nintendo console, which I understand why they wouldn't. But the reason that they say that they wouldn't is because they don't want to overwhelm people with features. It's this chicken and egg scenario.
It's the Bethesda thing all over. Like, we do not give review copies because we want everyone to play at the same time. We don't want regular peasant folks being jealous of the game journalists being able to play it first, and then subsequently tell them whether or not it's worth their purchase. You know, but if you don't want to buy it, you want to wait till reviews later. But then we don't give a shit about you playing it at the same time as everyone else. Like, it's the same thing. It's like what you're saying is so far from fucking like believable in the context of like how you're trying to present it.
It's frustrating.
I don't know why you're even trying.
And to be honest, the reason it's frustrating for me is because legitimately, like, there are a lot of EA games that I really enjoy. I think it would have been smart to put The Sims on there.
Actually, yeah, that's a pretty brilliant idea too.
Like
not the herbs or any of those other console Sims. You know what I mean? Like not the goofy shitty versions.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been excited about Sims 4 being on there, but to me that seems as fitting. It seems like a good fit. Maybe even
I would have possibly bought that. That's definitely like one of those fucking airplane games where it's just like there's 4 hours of you just not really getting too invested in anything. You put it down, take a nap, whatever, just doing your shit.
Like, I'm gonna build my house,
Yeah.
and my dog is gonna have puppies.
Is that what they do now?
The new expansion is coming out, Sims 4 Pets.
We received a letter to warranty from a little girl who played Switch who was recommending that Sims could get
Switch?
Sims. People would send in game ideas, right?
Yeah.
And there was one, it was from like a little girl, like 13 or so. So I'm a big fan of The Sims, although I have an idea for like, added content or new expansion. I think that Sims should be able to get pregnant and have abortions or get cancer. And that was like basically the gist of it. This was like a handwritten letter, like. So I did. This was not like I don't think she was memeing us. Like, how would you want that?
Tortilla says there's a lot of single women who would love Sims on the Switch. Scroll up real quick because there was an Idify comment.
It's actually pretty funny because I do know some of the people I know that play Switch.
He said
play Sims.
Switch is one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles. Yeah, that's he'd be stupid to miss out.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to diatribe about them wanting to play it safe.
Much faster than PS4. Idify says, so let's say the Switch becomes the best-selling console of all time. Tell me, DKP, that I wouldn't like to get a chunk of that audience.
Yeah, I will tell you that. That's what they did with Wii, and they were pretty much better off for it. Let's see, James says as soon as you could buy, because this is also like one of the reasons. As soon as you could buy that shit, I knew people who miss rent, no joke, $200 every month on packs. So also those people, you're not going to be taking anything away from like the audience you already have. Like the audience that already has their invested ass FIFA team and Ultimate Team that's on PS4, because I don't think it's like cross faction or whatever you play with Xbox users. Is it?
No. And I don't know if this feature will exist for Switch, but there are like transfer options.
Okay, but either way,
they're not great. And they're very very limited, and it's usually like cross platform. I mean cross like generation. So like FIFA 17 transferring your stuff. So
right.
I doubt it would be possible, but
yeah, like no, you're not gonna fucking. You're only banking on new people who currently don't play FIFA. And for the people that want to play that shit, they fucking most certainly have a console and they're playing. Yeah. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
And yeah, so like you're banking on just getting a new audience of Nintendo fans.
I don't think you compare the Wii with the Switch. I see the Switch having a way longer lifespan than we ever did. I was thinking about this, just to touch on the Wii real quick, on a semi-related yet unrelated note. I've never finished a game. I've never made it to the credits on a Wii game.
I have.
Shattered Memory.
That's the one I could. That was actually.
I was thinking to my mom.
Funny,
I wonder if it's Shattered Memory.
It was, and that game was fucking garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, never finished the Galaxies. Never finished Skyward Sword.
I'd have to go back and look at the categories, or look at the game library
titles
to see if anything.
Yeah. The Wii man.
No, like I said, I honestly I don't disagree with what he's doing.
I don't either.
I just
that messaging.
Their attempt to say, "Hey, look, this is just not a safe. We don't think it's a safe business." Yeah, their swerve. It's like, look, we're not doing this for us.
We just don't want to overwhelm people who buy a Switch.
You. Like that's the outrageous fucking thing, Because yeah, like I said, your audience already exists. They can just keep making insane amounts of money. Because like I said, people that want to play it, they're gonna buy it one way or the other. It's like this because these are like diehard fans. And yeah, you will have people that are like, well, I'll buy it if it comes to the convenience of Switch. But that number is very diminished considering, like, them having to build an entire new engine, hire entire new work staff, all on the gamble for it. Like, I'm fine with that, them not wanting to do it.
Barbecue says, I beat New Super Mario Bros. With a group on Wii. The only title I ever completed. Now that I think about it, HD, I don't think I've ever finished a game on the console. Dude.
There's been a lot of games I tried out.
Yeah.
And we're like, this sucks.
I even convinced myself that some of them were pretty decent.
Wait, Idify, you never finished Skyward Sword? You used to White Knight the shit out of that game.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, I don't recall him doing it. I'm not saying he did.
I guarantee you he did.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Ready to move on?
Yeah, what a fucking... Who does he think he's fooling? Anyway.
He said no.
Oh no, he's saying he didn't finish it.
No.
He definitely White Knighted.
I loved it.
See,
never finished it. All right, so Resident Evil 7's getting a gold edition. We're going to read a little bit of stuff here.
All right.
It's from Polygon. Resident Evil 7's next DLC drops in December. This is from Michael McWhirter. from Polygon. It says Capcom will release 2 pieces of DLC for Resident Evil 7. The delayed Not a Hero, which, spoiler alert, it's about Chris Redfield, on December 12th, as well as End of Zoe. The company will release a gold edition
Their
of
take
RE7.
on Zone of the End.
Resident Evil. They'll also release a gold edition, which includes all of the game's DLC. Not a Hero stars Chris Redfield. The episode, which will be released for free. It was originally planned for release this past spring, but was delayed. Here's the new content's official synopsis. Taking place after the horrific events that befell Ethan Winters in RE7.
I was wrong, then what the fuck?
Not a Hero brings a brand new experience playing as Chris
Okay.
To face new threats not met in the main game. As part of New Umbrella, Chris and team quickly set up a strategy to counter this latest threat. Will Chris once again solve the mystery of his latest outbreak and make it out of the plantation's dungeons alive? And then next, the new episode End of Zoe will be included as part of...
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay, yeah. I want to make sure I didn't mishear anything.
Okay. The new episode End of Zoe will be included as part of RE7 Season Pass. Or you can buy it separately for $15. Which to me, when a DLC is $15, that says something about the DLC.
Usually. And they've been on the up and up. They've been very honest. Great value from Resident Evil 7 from the season pass and everything. So I believe this case, it's a safe bet that it will be a robust piece of content.
Capcom says this shocking installment will reveal Zoe Baker's fate and introduce new enemies and a swamp-filled area. Zoe, a member of the Baker family who terrorizes protagonist Ethan in RE7, helps the player over the course of the game, but her fate at the end of the game was left vague.
Well, for half of the people that played, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all the news.
This is the fucking game that just keeps on.
Let's hit the comments real quick, and then we'll again just spew our love for Resident Evil 7. I can give 2 shits about FIFA on Switch. I'm just happy about 2K18, which supposedly is content complete. Yep. I hate FIFA. Thank fuck we moved on. Tortilla says, I will fucking hands down rebuy RE7 for the 4th time. Idify says, wait, it's not? Here's my chance to buy Resident Evil 7. Whoop, whoop. Man, I fucking love RE7.
I'm telling
it's
you.
so good. Devolver made a game called Not a Hero that was a good time. Grabbed it on PSN for free a few months back. Nice. Getting it for free. I was Team Zoe all the way.
See, she was clearly the more fuckable of the two. In my opinion.
See, I don't think so. Except there are parts when, what's her name? The other girl. Mia. Where, Mia just looked hideous. Her character, the way her face looked would sometimes look really terrible.
I just got really sad.
You got really what?
Sad just now.
Yeah, thinking about it?
No, that you're going to see it tonight, and I'm not.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't know why that just pinged me. But anyways, we can move on.
I'm going to call you in the middle of the Dog Pennywise! Oof, so excited.
I have him tattooed on me, over here somewhere.
I got no.
I'm
I
a
got
super
no
fan.
tattoos.
This is my favorite game, favorite book. I'm thrilled.
A pop vinyl right there.
I'm just so glad it's good.
Zoe looks like an inbred female. That's kind of his thing, though.
What?
He loves Elvira.
Oh,
I got bets this movie is trash, dude. I will totally take that bet. I want to bet with you.
Yeah, since the Rotten Tomato score is 90%.
Shh! Don't give me ammunition
on a horror film. Which, by the way, you have to grade on a curve, anyways. Anyways, but
James, if I win, you got to send me some Iron Brew.
So if you're saying that my type is chicks that look inbred, I want to call VKP in here and you can dress her down and browbeat her about it. Is that what you're getting at? You come into my house and you tell me that Zoe's the worst choice, and then say I fuck chicks that look like the people from Hills Have Eyes. Get out of here.
Did I say that she was inbred? I said, I'd if I said that.
Yeah, but no, you said you immediately went, yeah, I agree. Let's see. I'm sorry, Mia, chopping off a limb is a deal break. Yeah, there's also that, too. She never chopped off a thing. You know about Lorena Bobbitt, you remember that shit, right?
Yeah, she was a Peter Chopper.
Peter Chopper.
I'll send you herps, that's the thing. I bet that's the thing you have, too. Barbecue says, just watched OG last week to get hyped for the remake.
You're on top of that tonight. I bet that's something you have, too. Good one.
Resident Evil 7, man. I'm pretty confident. We've talked about this before. I'm pretty confident it's going to end up Chainsaw Ape's Game of the Year.
Unless
I'm curious to
Wolfenstein
see if
comes
it
out
gets
to
anybody
blow
else's.
everything the fuck out of the way, and that's got to do a lot. To
I was about to say that. I like Wolfenstein: The New Order. Yeah. But the sequel would have to be incredible.
It would have to. Well, I mean, it would have to be Game of the Year material, which But this is above and beyond. This is the best purchase I feel good about of the entire year for how much content I've gotten out of it, how much content I'm still going to be getting, the creativity, the fact that it revitalized my fucking favorite franchise. It's just there's so much good about it.
It's really good. I've said this before. I think it's my favorite Resident Evil.
I still got to go with remake, but
I don't have I have a problem with the old ones. I like them, but I have problems.
I like those better than this one. That's not saying a lot because those I hold those such high regard.
Yeah, they're in your favorites. What up, Balda?
What up, baby?
Herbs for the win. How you think you caught them, Tom? Shit was me, baby. Damn. All right, let's move on.
He caught them by wearing a strange tracksuit he found. Very much you can get herpes sitting on a toilet seat and all that, right? And that truck stop. Don't Google that. I don't think
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Mario Odyssey and the worlds we know.
Okay, so not gonna lie, the newest Resident Evil game is fucking amazing. That collector's edition too.
All right, I think we should get BKP in here and browbeat the fuck out of her.
What for?
So I was gonna pre-order the RE7 collector's edition.
Gotcha.
And she was like, "No, don't do it. I'll get it for you for our anniversary." Because it's our anniversary's 7 days after, right? And I was like, "Okay, well, just so you know, you're gonna do that. You gotta make sure you pre-order it."
Yeah.
And then I think it was 3 weeks before it was coming out. We were driving to the movies or something. And I was like, "Oh, I'm thrilled. Resident Evil 7's coming out." And she's like, "Oh, can we stop by GameStop? I still gotta pre-order that." And I was like, "You fucking didn't?" She's like, "No." I was like, "It's over. Game over, man. And you told me not to? I could kill you for that." And I bet
you could just go buy all the stuff from eBay.
That's not the point. I want it sealed.
That's fair.
I
bet you could buy a sealed one. Probably pay a penny for it.
Not the point.
James says, gonna watch some strange tracksuits. The worst ones is the ones that smell of weed smoke and cheap aftershave.
All right.
You can get herpes from sitting on a toilet seat at a truck stop while sucking some guy's dick, says Peb.
Well, that's true. When you put it that way.
I set him up. 7, knock him down. DKP.
Speaking of sucking some guy's dick, Mario Odyssey. Yes.
So,
speaking of getting some strange.
Cool.
Yes.
So, a little bit of a history.
Speaking of hitting the pipe, going down the tubes. With strange worlds and unexplored territory.
The Japanese
Mario Odyssey.
Mario is no longer a plumber.
What does he do now then?
He plays tennis and football.
Oh, he's a professional athlete?
Yeah, and a doctor.
He's like Bruce Jenner. The most famous professional athlete. That's the guy, right?
Yeah, that's him. So
whatever happened?
When the Mario Odyssey trailer that we saw in January came out, it showed off 4 worlds. We did a analysis trailer breakdown, and we kind of digested it and was went deep, got dirty with it. And you could tell that these worlds are fucking huge.
Yep.
Twice to 3 times the size of Mario 64 and Mario Sunshines. And Game Explain, they're a YouTube channel that's really good at what they do. They said this game is so big that there may only be 4 worlds in it. So as time has progressed, as the E3 trailer hit, more worlds have started to become apparent. That it's going to have more than that. So based on the packaging images and stuff that we've seen in trailers, they've come to the conclusion that as of right now, there are 10 worlds in it. So I'm going to take a few minutes to go over just a list of the 10 worlds.
What's up, Arby's? I haven't been able to watch as much lately as I would want to. It's all right, sweetie. My cock finally healed. I've been masturbating for the last week straight.
That's what's up. You got to do you, fam.
James says, speaking of sucking a dick, here's a small plumber with a strange sexual stash.
He said he was focusing on sports and racing.
That's what we're fucking thrilled to play.
We better get a new Dr. Mario. Dude, I love Dr. Mario. Gender Bender Nurse Mario. I smell season pass.
You think there will be?
Yeah. We got one for Zelda. We got one for Mario plus Rabbids. By the way, I've almost 100%ed it.
No shit?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's so good. So good. Okay. So this is from Nintendo Everything. More kingdoms confirmed for Super Mario Odyssey. This is Brian. Just Brian. He said, earlier tonight, the packaging images were revealed for Mario Odyssey. For the Mario Odyssey amiibo. Fans have already been poring over every detail on the box arts to see if there's anything new. As it turns out, looks like we have the names of 3 more kingdoms. The packaging shots offer a small look at Mario Odyssey's map. It seems that 3 new kingdoms have been confirmed. The names are still in flux, but the new kingdoms are the Snow Kingdom. The Mushroom Kingdom.
Okay.
And Lake Kingdom. That would put Mario Odyssey at 10 kingdoms. There could possibly be other areas that have been...
Are they being called kingdoms in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the game, there's a huge map that you have that looks like Mario World map, but it has all the different kingdoms that sit on.
So wait, is this meaning to say that like the Cityscape Kingdom, New Donk City,
is a kingdom?
Is on the same like existence plane as Mushroom Kingdom?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I also think it's shit.
I mean,
there's also
who gives a shit really? But that's kind of weird. Like
I don't. Yeah.
It's not going to take away from the game for me. Yeah. Very strange. Because I thought the Mushroom Kingdom was like the whole fucking planet. Like, it was ruled like that was the land, right? It's called the Mushroom Kingdom. And anytime you've been outside of that, it's been like in some other weird capacity, right? Like you go to space, you do whatever. So. But yeah, okay.
So, they are as follows. Cap Kingdom, which is a misty world whose black, white, and gold color scheme and hat theme match the interior of the Odyssey.
And that's at the very beginning of the trailer.
The Metro Kingdom, which is where New Donk City is.
Okay.
The Sand Kingdom, as pictured here. The
and
Wooded
these are all
Kingdom,
subject to change. Like
yeah.
Names.
The Wooded Kingdom, which is the one that's got like the big trees.
That's the one that looks like it's a tech demo for like when you see people that are like, oh, I remade Mario 64 in Unreal 4. Yeah. Where like the trees look like photorealistic, but there's like Mario running around in it.
Yeah. The Luncheon Kingdom, which is the one that they showed off at PAX recently.
Yep.
Where, it's all the architecture's really funny looking.
Way,
Cascade Kingdom, which is the one from the very beginning of the E3 trailer where you see the T-Rex running.
Yeah, the dinosaur.
And turns around. That's for Cascade Kingdom. The Seaside Kingdom. Lake Kingdom, Snow Kingdom, and Mushroom.
Okay.
Are the final 3.
And they got those from like the Amiibo box art, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And these kingdoms are said to have anywhere between 30 to 50 moons per level. The moons are like the stars that you collect.
Jesus Christ.
So we're talking anywhere from 3 to 500, if it's only 10 levels.
Right.
3 to 500 like different missions.
As opposed to what, 120?
There were 120 in Mario 64 and in Mario
Galaxy,
Sunshine. And Galaxy. I think Galaxy.
I think 120 is like the thing.
Yeah.
Anywhere there or about.
Yeah. So we're talking 3 to 500 like objectives or missions for Mario Odyssey, and that's 10 worlds that we like have confirmed. There could be more than.
No, that's fucking great.
Yeah, very excited.
Adify says, let's see, if this new Mario game doesn't have a rabbit, I'm gonna be pissed.
I don't think it will.
By the way, I hope you're pissed. Brian at Nintendo sounds credible.
Yeah,
man. That's that's some kid's uncle. That way they can be like, no, my uncle works for Nintendo.
He works for Nintendo.
Do you know what that poor kid whose uncle actually does, like Reggie's nephew, and no one ever believes him? So yeah, this comes out when October, right?
Yeah, October, the same day as Wolfenstein and Assassin's Creed,
which is what,
the 27th.
Fucking God. That might as well be fucking November.
It's
just like, why does that have to be the end of the month? Imagine.
We're a month and a half away.
I know, imagine if it was the beginning of the month. And it's
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Wow, what a lame phrase. Like, just imagine if it wasn't that. But I mean, like, when it's like when Resident Evil was like, okay, it comes out January, then when we got closer, I remember like, oh, it's like January 7th. So it's like, you barely have to scrape into that month to play it. Now this, it's like, when October hits, there's that agonizing, it's October, but nothing is here. You have to wait the entire fucking month. But yeah, no, this sounds fucking great though.
Yeah.
I am thrilled. I normally
feel like it's a game. No,
dumbass thoughts like that I'm willing to say in person unless I'm this thrilled about something.
to be fair, so like Mario Sunshine and Mario 64, except for a couple places here and there, you could only get like, so you would like jump into the painting, and then it would be like race Koopa the Quick, and then you race Koopa the Quick, and then you're done, and then you have to leave. You stay in the worlds the entire time. So it'll be like go collect all of the band members for what's her name? Pauline's band. So you have to run around and collect them, and then you take them to Pauline. She's like, "Here's your moon," and then you run and do something else. Like you don't actually. You can work towards tons of objectives at the same time. So there are going to be like there are less gates in terms of how you complete
you don't
those.
have to decide which one you're going for.
Yeah,
and then
so the 30 to 50 moons per kingdom, may take you a little bit longer, but not much longer than it take you to finish like a normal work. But
fair enough.
I'm confident this game is going to be huge. Alpha says, DKP, you don't understand. Mario plus Rabbids is a perfect fucking fit for the console.
No, I don't doubt that.
No, he wants to play it.
I might give it a shot at some point. But that being said, like, I don't like Rabbids. Like,
I don't like Rabbids either.
So, like, and if I'm playing a regular-ass Mario game, like...
But they are so fucking good in this game. They're
sure.
hilarious.
But do you, like, want them in Mario Odyssey?
No.
Yeah, I don't get why the fuck...
I think it would be cute if they made, like, an appearance or something like that, but they don't need to be in.
I don't know. If they do it, whatever. But if I had a preference, just keep this one Mario. Don't get the Rabbids out of here. Save that for the probably the inevitable franchise, Mario plus Rabbids, right? Just hopefully. Like, they'll force me to fucking play Mario Tennis in this one. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, that'd be dope. Mario Tennis is fun. Mario Golf.
I want to play a tennis game. I'll play some tennis game. But anyways, no, this looks fucking great, though. And, month and a half.
Yep. Jim says, my uncle works at Nintendo, got me a new trial game called Grand Theft Elder Scrolls games. It's not out yet, so don't tell no one.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about, an appearance or reference. Yeah.
I mean, like, but if I don't see a rabbit, I'm gonna be pissed.
You're gonna be pissed.
Get the fuck out of it. And then, hold on, I'm not done with him yet. And then he's like, DKP, you don't understand. It's super important to see a rabbit in Mario Odyssey because it's perfect fit for the console.
I don't think he's saying that it's super important that it's in there. I think he's just saying it's super important that you play that game.
I'm just wanting to get shit.
I wouldn't mind a little Mario Kart crossover. Yeah, that'd be cool.
No, I mean, once again, this
the franchises that I like, I'm totally cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll see some Assassin's Creed in there as well.
Assassin's Creed Final Fantasy fam, anything's possible.
Yeah, I know. Are you ready to move on?
Yep, let's move on.
All right. That's our final topic for the night.
Getting Metal Gear Solid right. You and I talked about this about a week ago. I'm going to read you pretty much the same information I read you last time, and then we're going to discuss it.
LOL, Major Tom is correct, and DKP is an ass. Hey, man, they say you are what you eat, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me see if I can find the guy's name real quick. Jordan Vaught Roberts is a director, and he recently directed his first big motion picture was Kong Skull Island for Sony.
Yeah, which Herb was actually really good.
Yeah. So Jordan Vaught Roberts has a dream to direct a Metal Gear Solid movie. So, we're just going to jump from that point. Martin Roberts wrote an article for Eurogamer. I might read a lot of it, don't really know. It says the Metal Gear movie was first announced back in 2006 and has over the years had names like Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, and even Paul Thomas Anderson attached to it. Momentum has built ever since. Arad Productions got on board in 2012, though in 2014, Sony Pictures finally got a director attached to the project. Turns out they couldn't have picked a better person for the role. I recently spoke to Jordan Vaught Roberts, who made his name with the coming-of-age comedy drama The Kings of Summer before making Kong Skull Island. One of the few commercial successes at the cinema amongst this year's summer blockbusters. Vaught Roberts has just wrapped on a new Destiny 2 commercial. Nobody cares. He says, Vaught Roberts says, if I was smarter and knew more about math, there's an alternate reality in my life where I've gone into game development. The influence they've had on me as a person, a filmmaker, it's so intense and intimate and rewired my brain at a very young age. The language of the way video games work is so important. Video games I've played are as influential to me as films that I've watched. So this guy loves video games. You can see some of that in a series of Easter eggs scattered throughout Kong. which has nods to Journey, Zelda, and Mega Man. It's explicit even in how he recruited Joseph Cross, a concept artist who's been responsible for much of the look of Halo and more recently Destiny. Said all of this bodes well. Vought Roberts says, we're about to hire a new writer for Metal Gear. It's probably the most complicated property on the planet. The reasons people love that franchise are, well, you need to run towards those reasons as opposed to away from them. The most beautiful thing for me the past few months is that Kong's been a success critically and commercially, and that gave me an incredible amount of freedom to go to Sony and our producers and say, we live in a world that post-Deadpool and post-Logan. With the success of Kong, that obviously breeds a bit more trust, so I can say, let's make the Kojima version of this. The version that commits to the weird and strange and isn't necessarily what you think a big blockbuster franchise should be. He says, goes on to say, committing to the ideologies, the philosophies, the weirdness, and the Japanese elements, and the fourth wall breaking, and all these great things. That's what Metal Gear is. And that's why the franchise has endured. So let's embrace that as opposed to be afraid of it. We're working to get a script that the studio says, yes, we want to make this. And it's something that all fans can say, fuck yeah, that's my Metal. It's a tricky thing. There's a long road ahead, but that's the approach with it. Technically, it's Konami's property. I'll always be making this movie to interpret and service the world that Kojima made. That's why all of us care about the words Metal Gear Solid. Regardless of their split, Kojima and I have become friends and colleagues, and it's important to me to shepherd something that he's proud of. Konami's made incredible games, but Metal Gear, they supported him in making these games early on, but it's Kojima's voice and the voice of his colleagues and artists and designers, and I'll always be trying to service that. He says, when asked about how he's going to do it, he says, it's sort of a mix of things. I can't go into too much. It's not a direct adaptation of any particular game. It sounds too much like a modern statement to call it a remix, because that's not what it is. It's trying to fuse a couple of different storylines together and all tied together with a device that I can't really talk about, but I'm really excited about. I think it's going to make a movie where people go, whoa, I've not seen that before. And that's very cool. I think it's very Kojima in its approach. Which leaves us with one last question. Who exactly is going to play Snake? In an ideal world or in the vision that Vought Roberts is working towards? I can't tell you that. I don't care about it being a movie star. I want to cast who's best for the role. It also depends on when this thing gets made and how quickly it gets made. See.
All right.
Ooh,
So
that was a lot.
comments real quick, then we'll discuss that. Let's see. $3 house cat can kill and eat a rabbit. Maybe not that Donkey Kong. Want to fix Metal Gear Solid? David Hayter. Only if this was an animation.
Yeah.
Which I'd be more thrilled for than a live action. We'll get to that. If you want to make a Metal Gear movie, it has to be a completely different story. Glad that was confirmed. I agree. 100 million, David Hayter. You get Paul W.S. Anderson. Who the fuck is that? I know that, like,
The guy that directed
sounds so
Resident
familiar.
Evil.
Oh no, fuck that guy. James, you gotta be fucking out of your mind. Dan Case from the Nerds did a great piece on my video game sound. Post on the Facebook group.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out.
Yeah, you go first.
There's a lot more that you can find on this. And what he wants to do is fucking crazy. He doesn't go into too much detail about it, but he says, like, he uses words like, I want it to be super punk rock. Which is kind of a weird way to describe it.
That's what you read to me on Saturday, and it was like, that's not how I don't want my Metal Gear movie described as punk rock, you know? Like, and no, it's just like, that contextually, he just might mean, like, different, crazy and cool, whatever, right? But, like,
what I get from it is that it's over the top and kind of hardcore. Like, that's what I think when he says something like punk rock. It's that he wants an approach that is something that's like not for everybody, but something that people who like it will love it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So here's where I'm at with this. This guy's heart is definitely in the right place.
Yeah.
I believe that he fully wants to make this movie to please the fan base.
Well, to please himself.
Well, yeah,
Sure. He's a guy like us. He's in his mid-30s. He's a guy like us that's like, this franchise is super, super important to me.
Right.
He mentions in another interview that all the Metal Gear games came out at like seminal moments in his life. So when he thinks back to moments in his life, he connects Metal Gear to those moments. Different Metal Gear games.
I do the same thing.
So so it's clear that this is important to him, and not even just to make the right movie for the fans, but to make the right movie for himself.
So sure,
as well as
I
Kojima.
believe that his heart is in the right place. I don't think it can be done. I don't think it can be done in one movie. This is the sort of thing, like, if first off, like, it's like, do I want them to when they can't franchise it out and make like a movie franchise out of it? I don't know, because it's like, I don't think you can just tell it all in one story. Like, Sony Pictures,
I don't think
same company, just fucked up the Dark Tower trying to do that.
Yeah. I don't think that they should try to tell it all in one story. I think they should tell one story.
Right.
And I would personally prefer if that one story was Metal Gear Solid.
Solid, not the like original Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be in any of them. But from what I understand, he did mention Shadow Moses Island, so like it'll probably be more closely based on MGS. But yeah, like I said,
great.
I think this guy really wants to do it. I just don't think it can be done. I think you can make a Metal Gear movie, no problem. Doing all that he wants to achieve as far as like the feel, how it's going to be perceived.
When he mentions the fourth wall breaking stuff, I'm
think,
super curious about that.
I don't think it can be done.
Like, I feel like when he says fourth wall breaking stuff, he specifically references Psycho Mantis.
Mm.
And he doesn't do that, but I think that's what I think of when I think of fourth wall breaking. And can you imagine like how Psycho Mantis would like break the fourth wall?
But at the same time, like
in a movie,
yes, and
awesome.
I don't want that.
I totally
no. Listen, like, okay, hold on. So it's kind of like
I don't want it to be like Deadpool to where he's like talking to the audience.
That. Well, it would have to be something like that. That's how he does it, kind of in the. Well, it wouldn't have to be. But I'm thinking like, how corny was the part in the Doom movie where it plays the first person mode? It's like, ooh, like I think or in U-Ball's House of the Dead, and it flashes the old House of the Dead gameplay footage in, like.
So that's what you're picturing when you think of fourth wall breaking from this guy?
For something that's decently like supposed to be played straight like this, yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to be played straight.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, I don't think you can capture the feel of the games in these movies because, like, it's in the limited runtime that you have. Like, there's too much in there. And what I mean by like, the game will tonally shift from like ultra serious to winking occasionally at the audience, right? But it's like very, it's over like a 20-hour game, right? So like, it's not, the tone of the game doesn't shift to this is a comedy, or right, like, or it doesn't take itself seriously. Yeah. And to do all that, to get all that in a, say, hour and a half, 2-hour runtime, like, don't think it'll work.
I think you could. Can't be canon, real talk has to be offshoot, or as you were saying, a whole new story in that world.
Sure. I don't know if I also mentioned something. In all honesty, I don't want them to make Snake. I want a completely new character because they can only fuck up Snake in a movie. Same reason why I don't ever want there to be a live-action Zelda. So I kind of feel the same way, but if you can't like adapt it great, just don't make it. We don't need a Metal Gear Solid movie. And if you can't do Snake good in it, then just don't fucking do it. You don't be like, oh yeah, we'll call it Metal Gear Solid, but it'll be about characters you never heard of. It's based in the same universe. Like, I don't want that. Who wants that? You know what I mean? So this is one of those things where it's like, look, I hope the guy is great. Everything he said, like, he has it. His heart's in the right place to make the best Metal Gear Solid movie available. This is nothing against him personally. I just don't know if it can be done.
See,
I don't know.
I don't think you're wrong in that it's going to be hard. 10 years ago, I never thought we would have gotten a solid, like, Avengers adaptation. I would never think that they can do adaptations right until you get one that's right.
Sure.
And the same sort of thing, like when you think of, and you kind of made a couple of references to this, but when you think of video game movie adaptations, you think of all of them that exists, which are not great. Like, they're not great. Video game movie adaptations have never been super, super good. They just aren't. But eventually somebody gets them. Eventually somebody adapts a book to film and they get it right. Eventually somebody adapts, a comic book to film and they get it right.
You think this might be the one?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we can hope. Look,
I hope.
I hope it doesn't suck. It's going to happen. Want to know what I did before I came here? Okay, I see the answer now, but I was about to be like, oh no, here it comes. That's never a good one. I went and tried to start a rebellion against Christina Miller and Cartoon Network. Go on. She's the current CEO, I think, isn't she? Or creative director? Something like that. I want to elaborate on that some more. Fun fact, Paul W.S. Anderson is a massive RE fan, and he made that bullshit. He was a legit fan and made actors play the games, at least watch them. Then fuck that guy. Then he knew what he was doing. President of Nintendo.
Nintendo?
Sorry, Cartoon Network. Yeah, man, like I said, this is a...
Hope for the best on this.
But it's Sony Pictures, for one, which makes me nervous. Yeah. Two, the more he includes Kojima, like, the more Konami might step in and fucking get very upset about it.
I'm super curious about that. That's the big, like, question mark here. Is like, even if everything
seems
falls
like he's flying
place,
too close to the sun with how he's talking about it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, all I can say is I'm fucking nervous about it.
I agree with a lot of what he says, though.
Oh, I agree, but it's all conceptual. You know what I mean? It's all hypothetical at this moment. But yeah, I suppose within 5 years we'll know, and you can hear our opinions then.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be a big event whenever it does come out. We'll go see it. We'll have a post stream about it, something like that. But yeah. Well, all of us older fans of the original show are getting tired of the numerous bullshit from Christina Miller and Cartoon Network.
That's called getting older, fam.
Yeah.
It's getting older.
So you just gotta find your entertainment elsewhere. Like FX or, I don't know. There's Rick and Morty, I guess. But, yep.
Anytime I hear Sony Pictures, I think of that piss poor movie Phone Booth. Shit would never work in Scotland. Some sniper calls a phone box. It's an angry tramp demanding to be left to sleep. So I preach my heart out to the comment section of YouTube. There you go.
A bad way to do it, man.
Yep, that's it.
But yeah, you want your opinion to really be heard on that, take it to, I guess these days, take it to Twitter. That would be the place you would go. Go try to start a hashtag. Is that how Twitter
Grassroots movement.
Is that how Twitter works?
Get you some polls started. Get some people to vote.
But, yep. Most exciting thing for me will be who they cast as Snake. That'll be the big, like, we're about to see
me, I hope
if
it's
this is going to be
name.
worth the shit. Dude,
That's the most important thing to me as a note.
And I don't want the guy to be doing a David Hayter impression
I don't either.
Because that would be fucking terrible. What if they cast Kiefer Sutherland? How shitty would that
That's
be?
old Snake.
All right. Well, I think that is...
Yep, that's it.
That is it for us tonight.
Here's all the links up there. Go click those, even though they're not actually buttons. Type them out in your browser. Go do the things.
And we will see you fellas. I'll be on tomorrow night playing some more LA Noire. And check you out Saturday for our Netflix movie club. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, we have a Netflix movie club where we watch movies and we talk about them from Netflix. It's a lot of fun. We have a Facebook group specifically designed for it. We vote on movies. We watch movies. We're about movie 4.
We stream and give live impressions and all discuss it. It's fun. So if you like that, check it out on Facebook. Let's see, there's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out. I hope that's live action. When Danny DeVito plays Dr. Robotnik.
They get the guy who did his voice in the cartoon, who was the guy who played Urkel. All right, thanks for hanging out.
Yep, appreciate it, fellas.
Not there yet, Idify. We'll get there.
Yeah. All right, fellas. I'm DKP.
I'm H-Tom.
And we'll see you on tomorrow.